Welcome, everybody. Glad you're here. And so glad you're here so we can explore what could be a game changer for your business and your Microgreen business. We're going to talk about finding a niche. Before we dive in, let's share a quick story again. Might resonate with you. A few years ago, I was working with a grower. She was struggling in her microgreen business. She was just trying to do it all. She was going to grocery stores, farmers markets, door to door delivery, home deliveries, Facebook ads, all that stuff. She was doing it all, just about everything. The results, she was overwhelmed and barely making it. I don't even think she was actually making it. She was losing money, and we don't want to be there. But then she decided to do something incredible. She decided to focus on one group, high end restaurants. She identified what they wanted, vibrant, colorful garnishes, and tailored her business structure to that to meet their need. Within months, business transformed. Awesome. She went from struggling to scaling all because she found her niche. So that's what we're here to discover today, what can help your business thrive. So this workshop is designed to help you understand why you're having a niche is essential for growing a profitable microgreen business. We're going to learn practical tools and research to define your target market so you're not just wasting time and resources. Actionable steps to align your business with what your market actually needs, not what you think it needs, but what it actually needs. So here today, we're going to spend our time together finding out what niche really matters, what are common microgreen niches in the industry for microgreens. We're going to do an interactive exercise, which is what we've shared in the chat already. So we're going to brainstorm, outline potential niches in your area. This is going to help you go along as we talk. You can write stuff down and you can figure out what niche is important for your area. And then we'll go into Q&A and we'll talk about next steps, what you can do to further your business go further. And this is the sheet, which you can scan the QR code here, or you can download it with the link in the chat as well. Just make a copy of it so you can have it on your own. It's be your copy. Nobody else can see it. So we'll share some resources during this, like this worksheet here that we're talking about. By the end, you should have a clear vision and direction for your business. That is the goal tonight, to have that clear direction for your business. So finding your niche isn't just about narrowing your focus. It's about unlocking potentially and to work smarter, not harder. We don't need to work harder. We just need to work smarter. By the end of the day, we should see a powerful concept and how you can set yourself apart from your competition. You may have 10 other growers in your area, but if you can set yourself apart, you're going to succeed. They could succeed. If you can find that perfect niche, you can all share. So if you have that sheet, you can fill it out as we go along, and we'll talk about it at the end. And maybe even if you guys want, we can bring one person up at the end and we can go over that sheet. We'll share a link with you. You can come up and you can talk live. If anybody wants to, just you can put it in the chat and say, pick me. And we'll pick one of you to come up. We'll talk about the sheet. It'll be random. And we can go from there and see if we can help you out really in detail today. So let's start by answering some important questions. What is a niche? And why is it such a big deal for your business? A niche is simply a specific group of people or businesses you choose to serve, and you're choosing to serve them. They don't choose you, you choose them. It's about focusing your efforts on meeting their unique needs and better than anyone else that can do it. You're the one. And it matters a lot, especially just starting out. You want to definitely focus on a certain niche, not everything. All right. So think of this niche as a business bullseye. Instead of trying to hit that whole target, hit the entire target, you're going to aim for the center. Aim for that bullseye so where you can get your skills and the market needs overlap. Perfect harmony, right? If you ever felt like you're doing a little bit of everything, but not really excelling at anything, been there. That's what we're here to find your niche and make all the difference. We definitely struggled with this in the beginning. We were all over the place. And we've kind of focused in and went after a certain segment, and it's just through there. We've doubled our business every year, all the way up to this year. So hoping to do that again. The numbers are getting bigger and bigger, but hopefully we can double the business again this next year as well, 2025 from 2024. But every year we've doubled our business or more. So it can be done when you start focusing. All right. Think of this as finding your sweet spot where your skills, your product, and your marketing needs all align. Perfect harmony, right? Why a niche is critical for success. I can't say this enough. You have to focus. If you're all over the place, you're not going to be focused. You're going to be all over the place. You're going to be trying to do this and that and that and that and that. You're going to try to be doing cilantro and beets, and you haven't even grown a successful tray of broccoli. And you need to focus. Focus in on one certain area when you're marketing and everything else. And then when you're spending your marketing dollars, you don't want to be spending them everywhere. Even if it's free marketing, it's your time. Going out on Facebook, going into stores, going into restaurants. It's your time as well as a cost. You have to figure that in. So if you can focus in and you just can become perfect at that niche, perfect at your speech, perfect at what you need to say to that restaurant owner, and just get better and better and better as you go along, you're going to succeed at this. Maybe not at first, but if you keep at it, you will. All right, focus equals efficiency. So when you focus on a specific group, like a meal prep company, even don't discount them. Them are good ones. Or a fine dining restaurant. You're not spreading yourself too thin. You can grow exactly what you want, what they want, what you want, and become known as that delivery consistently all the time. You're their person. For instance, instead of offering every variety of microgreen, you can specialize in vibrant garnishes for chefs. It's easier to grow, market, and sell when you're just focused on that one thing that garnishes for the chefs. And then you can sell exactly what your audience needs and not everything. For example here, instead of growing 10 different varieties of microgreens for everyone, you can focus on them 3 to 4, maybe 5 varieties and really become perfect at them. Really become perfect at selling them. Really be perfect at talking about them. Then you can expand later on. But in the beginning, 3 to 5 at most. Really, 3 to 4 would be the best. And you can really, really focus in on knowing everything about them crops, knowing what they sell, knowing what they eat with, knowing what they go with recipes, everything. You'll sell them. If you know everything about them, you know how to use them, you know how to sell them, you know how to grow them, you will sell them. Standing out in the market. I know a lot of growers that are in a big area where there's a ton of growers in their market, which is great because that means there's a vibrant market for microgreens, hopefully, should be. But the niche will help you differentiate your business and stand out in that crowded market. Why should someone buy from you instead of the competitors? That niche will provide you the answer, and it's not price. Okay, it's not price. Imagine walking in a grocery store and where a brand says, we do everything to everybody and anybody. Or you walk into a store that specializes in high protein microgreens for athletes. Which one's going to catch your attention? It's going to be that specific niche. That's going to be your target audience. If you can just bring them people in, it's awesome. You don't need to be everything to everybody. You don't want to be the Walmart. Well, building loyal customers. Your customers want to feel like you understand them. That's where you know everything about every product, right? You understand them. You understand what their needs are. You understand what they want. You want to understand your customers. When you meet their unique needs, whether it's a restaurant, a home delivery, or grocery stores you're focusing on, or meal prep, whichever one you're going to focus on, you're going to know everything what they need, what they need. You're going to study their business. You're going to know everything. You're going to do your homework. You're just not another supplier. You're their go-to expert. They don't even entertain another grower coming in, somebody else selling them stuff because you're taking so good care of them. And that can be in customer service and in sales, and you're growing products for them and you're making them perfect and everything else. You're their go-to expert and you know everything about them. So they don't want to lose you because you know it. All right. So let's talk generalists versus specialists and a comparison of them. So here's the difference. A generalist might grow 10 different varieties of microgreens and hope somebody buys them. A specialist is going to focus on them 2 to 3, maybe 5 at most, that chefs love, like amaranth, radishes, colorful garnishes, cabbage, stuff like that. The red acre cabbage is nothing to sleep on, guys. That's a great product. And guess who gets that consistent sales? It's going to be you. If you can make them products perfect and you know everything about them, you're going to be the one to get the sales. You're going to be the specialist. When you're the specialist, you solve their problem. If you can solve somebody's problem, you're going to be their go-to person, right? That's the only thing that makes you stand out in the market. So let's get into a little bit more detail what a generalist and a specialist is. So generalists, let's talk about it. What happens when you're a generalist in your microgreen business? Being a generalist means you're trying to serve everyone and do everything. On the surface, it might seem like a great ideal, right? Because you can do everybody. But let's break it down a little bit. A generalist approach often ends in leads to grow too many varieties, and you're not focused. Selling to anyone who will buy. You're just hoping somebody buys, right? And spending your time researching too thin. Been there, done that, guilty, charged. It's like trying to please everyone at once, and then you end up pleasing nobody. Sound like anybody? Anybody have that issue? Put it in the chat. When you're a generalist, your message to the market becomes unclear. If you're saying we do it all, potential customers might want to see you, might not want to choose you because what? What are you doing? Everything? I don't know what that is. So you don't want to be that person. You do not want to be Walmart. Okay. Imagine a grower trying to sell microgreens at a farmer's market to a grocery store and a local restaurant all at the same time, juggling all the packages for retail, bulk trays for chefs, bulk products for chefs. You got 12 different packagings because you want to do multiple things, whatever. Customers' demands for mixes. It's all different. You don't want to do that in the beginning. You want to stay focused. It's exhausting. I've been there, right? It's exhausting doing all that. Sales don't take off because the business feels scattered and then it fails. And we don't want that. We want everybody to succeed. So we want you to focus in on that niche. How many of you feel like you've been trying to do too much all at once? Don't be shy. Put it in the chat. We've been there. Guilty as charged, right? You're always trying to do too much in the beginning because you just want to make sales. That's a common challenge everybody's going to face. But we can solve that by finding your perfect niche. All right. What is a specialist? Well, specialist is going to be, targeting certain groups, right? So like vibrant dishes, bold shape, pairing flavors, whatever it is. You can pick one of these three and you specialize in that, right? Specialize in bold shapes or maybe pairing flavors with chefs. If you can go in and tell a chef and you're like, hey, you got this item on your menu, this microgreen is going to go perfect with it. Here's 8 ounces. Use this over the week. I'll come back in and check on you, see how it went, see how your guests liked it. Let me know. Go back in and follow up with the next week. Boom, done. They're going to use it all week, right? It's going to be in their shelf. They're going to get used to seeing it. Be that pairing flavor. You can pick that niche within the restaurant business, right? Now let's look at what happens when you decide to be a specialist, where this powerful finding your niche really shines. Being a specialist means you're focused on one specific market or one group or tailoring your products to meet their perfect need. You got to meet their perfect need. That's why a lot of people, when they go into restaurants, don't get to sell because you're not meeting their need. A specialist doesn't try to serve everyone, and that means chefs too. You don't try to serve every chef. Not every chef's going to be for you. And then there's 0 in one group. For example, you might decide to grow garnishes for a fine dining restaurant or create a salad mix for a local grocery store. Them are 2 different things, right? So you don't want to be doing them both in the beginning. You want to be very established before you go off and do that stuff. You want to focus allows you to refine your offering and streamline your process and deliver exactly what the customer wants. It's all about the customers. It's not about what you want to grow. It's what you can grow, but it's also what they need, right? A specialist stands out because they're seen as the expert. You want to become the expert. If your restaurant's looking for vibrant colors, dishes, they choose the grower who specializes in that over someone who grows everything underneath the sun, right? Because they're not going to grow it well. They're going to be doing too much. Specialize. One grower I worked with focused entirely on farmers markets. Awesome. They created a weekly salad boost, mix that sold out every week because it's exactly what the customers wanted. They came up, they said, hey, can you make something that this all goes in? I like this. Can you make something goes in all of that so I don't have to buy 3 separate things? Like, sure. And then sales went higher because they had that specific product. And they liked it so much, they were buying multiples still. They weren't buying 3 products, but then you're only using one packaging and everything else. It was awesome. Their sales went up because they specialized in what the customers were telling them they wanted at the farmer's market. So listen to your customers. Just don't try to make it sell at the farmer's market. Talk to your customers. Talk to them repeat coming up. Asking them what they like, what they didn't like. This is the best market research you could ever be is at a farmer's market. So make sure you focus in on that and ask that. Think about your own business. What is one market or customer group where you could specialize in? Put that in the chat. What do you think you could specialize in that would work in your market? Who benefits the most from your target approach? Take a moment to jot that down. It might just be the foundation for your niche. Make sure you're using the sheet. Keep writing stuff down in that sheet as you're thinking about it and going along this. Okay, guys, this is interactive. We want to work with you. All right. Specializing might feel like you're narrowing your options, but in reality, you are not. You're opening an opportunity to make more business focused, efficient, and in demand. You're doing fine. You're doing great. You want to focus in on that niche, right? You will make more. Now that we know what a niche is, right? Everybody knows what a niche is. Make sure you know what it is. If you don't, stop me and we will talk more about it. But everybody should know what a niche is and what you want to specialize in. Farmers market, you're going to do home deliveries. Are you going to do restaurants? Are you going to do door to door? You're going to do a food delivery service. Many options. What are you thinking you're going to do? What do you think you want to focus in? Go ahead and write that down or put it in the chat even. All right, so let's talk about some common microgreen niches. Like these are the top 5 that I came up with that I could think of. So high-end restaurants, that's the first thing everybody thinks of when they grow microgreens. That wasn't our perfect client, to be honest. Something we went after, but it wasn't our perfect client. We still have a few, but that wasn't our perfect client. Farmers markets, great to start out in. You get the ability to grow what you want when you want and bring it to the market, and you don't have to worry about that, right? Nobody's guaranteed that sell. So they're great to start out with and get your feet wet and still do them today because they're awesome market research as well. Grocery stores, awesome. Love grocery stores, consistent orders. You're always delivering every week. They're awesome. And then you got a home delivery service or self-delivering, or you can aggregate. We also work with an aggregator that does multiple farms, right? And they go around and deliver the products for you. It's awesome. And then you got health and wellness businesses like juice bars, awesome. Gyms, put a little cooler in there. We got one member that does that in his gym, and he sells microgreens right at his gym there. And then health coaches as well. Don't forget about them. They all fall underneath this health and wellness business. And I'm just looking at the chat, some guilty and home deliveries. How do you start out? We'll go over all that. Just have a lot of customers, home deliveries. Yep, we'll go over that. All right, so we'll go over some of that stuff at the end. Keep putting that stuff in here, and we'll go back over it, guys. So restaurants. This is an actual plate from a restaurant that we go to, that we deliver our products to. So that they use it on top of this dish here. Looks like mashed potatoes on the bottom there and some meat and stuff. It looks awesome. So that is an actual restaurant that we deliver to. All these pictures coming up are our stuff. So farmers market. This is our farmers market stand here with our wheatgrass on top and bottom there and everything else and labels. So farmer markets are fantastic for connecting directly to your customers, like I just said a minute ago, who values fresh local produce because you can harvest the day before and bring it. You can even harvest at the market, but it's a lot of work, but some do and do great at it. But market growers are often looking for convenient mixes. We found out they like the mixes. They like salad greens, smoothie boosts. They love talking to the grower directly when they know you're the grower. They love having that interaction. They feel special. They feel like they can talk to you and ask you questions about the product, and you're knowledgeable about it. It's a great, like I said, great market research. You're going to find out what your area is looking for if you're doing home deliveries or grocery stores on top of that, or you're aggregating or whatever. You're going to find out your market research and what your market really wants really fast. Best market research you can ever have is a farmer's market. One of our grower created a market mix that was specific for the market, like sunflower broccoli radish mix became their top seller because they could only get it at the farmer's market. So you make a specialty product. Awesome ideal, right? Think about your local farmer's market. What kind of microgreens would stand out there? Think about that, what you think would stand out there, what people want to eat and everything else. And that's what you want to make. That's what you want to grow. Grocery stores, my favorite, to be honest. Grocery store, but this is what I recommend people starting out necessarily. But if you do want to focus on niche of grocery stores, we definitely can help you start out there. We can definitely help you get everything you need to go grocery store and everything else in our business coaching program. We can help you out about that, but more about that in a little bit. So grocery store is just a great niche to stand out in once you're ready to scale a bit. They usually prefer prepackaged microgreens with longer shelf life, so mixes and stuff like that. We found out arugula doesn't hold up well in a grocery store. Wasabi somewhat does. It does okay. But, there's some that just doesn't hold up well. Leeks don't hold up well in grocery stores. You don't want to do them. So you got to find out what's going to hold up for a long time in a grocery store in this kind of open cooler settings. So store appreciate clean, well-labeled packages and consistent in their supply. A good example of a chef blend. Microgreens mixed with packaged and resealable containers. You got to have that. You want to have, where they can reseal them, where they tamper resistant, stuff like that we can go over. Start with local independents before you pitch the large chains. This will get you practice. You can mess up. You can stumble over your words, and they're not gonna care. They'll be okay with it. They'll guide you through sometimes. And they'll help you out and guide you what you need to do. And them are the grocery stores you stay with no matter what, even if they're low volume, because they got you started, right? You support local. And then you could go after the bigger chains when you open up more and you got it under your belt. Best thing we ever did was started a local mom and pop small grocery store. Still have them today. Health and wellness business. So like juice bars, gyms, even health coaches, they have direct access to the clients and you can tell them what to eat. And if you can partner them and they understand what the product is, they can explain it to their people and then they start buying. It's awesome. Microgreens like wheatgrass, sunflower shoots are great for juicing. Like kale and broccoli microgreens fit well into the health-focused meals. So them are great. You could put all three of them together, and they'd be great as well. We might have a mix like that. Not the wheatgrass, but the sunflowers, the broccoli, and the kale work great together, and you can make that into a smoothie. Works awesome. Love it. I work with a gym owner who started offering sunflower shoots after a workout, and it became their signature item. Put it with dishes and everything else on there, and everybody else loved it because it was that nice, sweet, green sunflower taste afterwards, but it was a healthy version. So these are all health-focused businesses in your area that you might benefit from adding Microgreens offers. So think outside the box a little bit with these gyms and health wellness stuff. You might be able to go at that because I guarantee most people aren't. So this might be something that would work great in your area if you got a lot of growers. These niches represent some of the most successful markets for microgreens. They are not the only ones, obviously, but they are a great place to start. The next part of this workshop will discuss identifying which niche works best to fit your business. So this is where we're going to get into the interactive part. All right, start identifying your microgreen niche. Now that we've explored the common niches, it's time to identify which one works right for you. This process involves 3 key steps: assessing your local demand. You're there, you probably should know a little bit of that, but it might change over time too. This isn't set in stone. Matching what crops meet that need and validating your niche. So let's break down each step into actionable strategy that can help you work today. So, assessing the local demand. Let's get talking about this stuff. All right. So tools and strategies here. The first step to understanding what already is happening in your local market, who's buying microgreens and what they're using them for. That's the most important. What are they actually using them for? One grower I work with discovered that a lot of juice bars in their city were using wheatgrass, but imported from other states, from across the country, usually from California, from the East Coast, from the West Coast. If you're in the middle, you're not getting that fresh. They realized there was an opportunity to offer that fresher local product. So that's one way you can do it. You can go in, even if they got the product already, go in and ask them where they're coming from. Ask them if they would like to get it local and fresher and everything else. Boom, done. A lot of places will do it, especially the smaller ones. What are some ways you could access your demand, local area demand? What are some ways you could access your demand in your area? Write it down, 1 or 2 ideas, and we can go over that at the end. So some tools you can use, obviously, is Google Trends. Love Google Trends. If you guys been on Google Trends, it's awesome. You can go in there and just put microgreens. You can be more specific and ask questions like wheatgrass in your area. Are health gyms taking off? Whatever you want to put in there. You can see where the trends are going. Microgreens, last time I checked, are going up. So that's a good thing for everybody. But you can put it for your area and find out what your area is looking for. It is a great tool. I highly recommend Google Trends. Get on that. Jess has got a link down there. It's posted, so you guys can click on that link and you can go to Google Trends. It's an awesome tool. Visit your local place, wherever niche you're going into. Visit them, not as a seller or a microgreen business. Visit them as a customer. So you can do some recon, right? So go to your local restaurant, go to your grocery stores. You ain't even got to buy anything in the grocery store. You can just walk around and check everything out and walk through and everything else and check out the products. They already got a microgreen grower. What are they doing? What are they not doing? All that stuff. You can just walk in there and check that out. That's a great one. Farmer's market. If you're not at a farmer's market or you're not that one, you can drive 30 minutes away and see another farmer's market and see what they're doing, because that's going to be local enough to you, and you can see what they're doing and figure out what's working in that area, what's working for them. Talk to them, ask them questions. Most will talk to you. You ain't got to tell them where you can grow, but you ain't got to hide it either. Most of them will still talk to you, because nobody should be scared of competition. Okay, there's plenty of business out there for all of us, and you can find out who's buying it. Talk to that chef, market goers, friends, all that stuff. What their preferences might be. Best place is to start with friends and family if they like that stuff, and ask them what they like and stuff as well. Don't discredit your friends and family. All right, matching crops with the market need. This is key. It's not, again, what you want to grow, it's what your market wants. So once you identify your potential buyers, the next step is align your crops with their specific need, right? As a grower, I noticed working a lot with chefs serving avocado toast, right? They picture sunflower shoots as a topping to them, and it became a hit because he was unique and visually appealing. You can also do like an amaranth or red, something like that as well that would contrast with the green. Whatever it is, sunflower shoots are just big and bulky, and they hold up good on there and everything else with the demand of the restaurant. So it's a great product to use. You can use a red product or whatever else. So if they already serve an avocado toast, we align perfectly with what they're doing. So you can add that as a topping, and it boosts their product, right? What crops could you grow to meet their needs in your ideal market? What crops do you think you need to hit whatever niche you're going for? Take a moment, brainstorm these ideas, and write one or two down, and we can go over it. So now you need to validate your niche, right? So the final step is testing your niche and making sure it's viable. Start small to minimize your risk. Do not go buy a warehouse, rent a warehouse out, and get 30 racks and go crazy, okay? Start small. Start in the corner of your house. Start small so you can gather feedback and you don't risk a lot. One grower started out by delivering free samples to 3 local restaurants. 2 of them became regular customers. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Somebody said that. It validates their niche in the fine dining space. They knew that's what they wanted to go after. So that's what they did. They doubled down, tripled down. Now they went from 2 restaurants that they got. Now they're, I think, 11. They were at 12, went down to 10, and I think 11 now in that. And they've only been at this for a few months. So they're probably going to be at 30, 40 restaurants by the end of the year, the way their growing is going. So the way their potential is. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see that. And that is one of our clients in the Microgreen Business Coaching as well. What is one way you could test your niche without committing too much or time or money? Write it down and we'll discuss it in the Q&A. All right. By following these 3 steps to assess local demand, matching your crops with your need, and validating your niche, you can confidently move forward and carve out your path in your microgreen market. In the next part of this workshop, we'll put all the ideas into action in our interactive exercise, which we've been working on as we're going along, right? All right. Interactive exercise now, guys. Let's make sure we're writing stuff down and we're finding stuff out. So we're going to map your market. Now that we've covered how to identify your niche, let's put it into practice. This activity will help you outline the opportunities in your local market and think about how you can tailor your microgreens to meet those needs. So you're going to identify potential niches in your local market, critical gaps in the line with the offering, right? So map it out. All right, the worksheet. Have you guys been filling the worksheet out as we're going along here? Or if not, we can take a few minutes to think about your local market and what type of business or customers could benefit my microgreens. For example, if you're in an urban area, you can think about local restaurants because they're highly dense, right? You can go to a lot of them in a short space, which is awesome. If you're in a rural area, farmers market might be a better fit because people love to go to farmers markets in more rural areas. We're kind of in a mix of both. Nice of that. We get kind of a mix of both. But looking for your niche where you can offer something unique, like a prepackaged product or home delivery or vibrant garnish. So make sure you're identifying these 2 to 3 niches in your local market. We're not deciding on anything yet. We're trying to figure out which niches you think you'd want to go after. So we're identifying 2 or 3. List any gaps in that market. So let's focus on that. List any of them gaps. For example, no prepackaged salad mixes available at your farmer's market. Example, that could be you, right? You could take over that. If you're in an urban area, think about local restaurants. And if you're in a rural area, you're going to think about farmer's market. Be the better fit. Look for niches you can offer something unique, like a prepackaged products or vibrant garnishes. Example, amaranth for radishes. Chefs love radishes. That purple stem, pink stem on them, awesome. Sunflower shoots for gyms. Broccoli and kale for health coaches. You can find this stuff. They're going to be out there, right? And we do have this free group, guys. If you're not in it, if you're not part of the free group, it's school.com. It's skool.com/microgreens for profit. Completely free group. You can get in there and we can help you learn a little bit more if you're not ready to take the big leap yet. All right. So this exercise is just the beginning of understanding your market. These insights can help you focus on your efforts to build a stronger foundation for your business. We covered so much today, right? And it's probably a lot. Good thing you can watch this again. With this niche is a common niche in the microgreen industry and how to identify the right one for you. Now it's time to take them next steps towards building a profitable microgreen business. Finding your niche is a foundation for your success, but knowing your niche is just the beginning. It's truly growing your business with ongoing support, tools, and a community to guide you. That's why we have this free group. If you haven't been there already, you can join our free group over there. Just talked about that. We got some workshop replays in there, templates, worksheets, and stuff like that to help you out as well. But let's talk about an exclusive discount to do some coaching with us, where we have a coaching group. It is at school.com/microgreens. Community of successful microgreens people. You're in here all the time talking, right? Great group of people in here, help each other out all the time. This is what I think is probably one of the best things. It's a community. It's off of any other groups or anything like this. It's very highly tailored. People in here are been growing for a while, are just starting. Everybody can help each other out. Community, right? You get weekly calls, which this one is getting filled in. There's going to be a weekly call down here as well, too. It's going to be a little different, but weekly calls. Every week we do a live Q&A scheduled for 2 hours, but a lot of times we go 3 hours just because we're having a good time and answering a lot of questions. So you get that, right? Then you get these classrooms. So you get the resources. You get everything that we use more in detail than what anything else we do. You get how to grow microgreens, tools, spreadsheets, everything that we recommend to use. In that, you get the whole basic course, Microgreens 101. You get all of this whole course there that we sold separately before, way more than $3.99. You get the coaching call replays, all right here. All these coaching call replays. Everything's here. You can go back and watch ones before you weren't even a part of. You can watch and learn, right? And then there's links in these ones now, too, where you can just click on here. If you see something to take away, you're like, oh, I want to learn about parsley peas. What were they talking about there? You can go and see what they were talking about, right? Awesome, awesome. You get a whole marketing classroom as well. We do once a month. We specific focus in on marketing. So these are all the calls from the marketing stuff right here. So they just keep getting added and added. So if you're learning about anything about marketing, how to do Facebook, Meta, building websites, we go over that, labels, QR codes, social media stuff right here, using social media. There's a lot of social media stuff in here, SEO stuff, Square subscription, mapping, a lot of marketing stuff in here. Great, great tool for that as well. And then you're also, if you're an annual member, you're going to get this roadmaps to success. So in this roadmap to success, you're going to get 5 calls a year, one-on-one with me, most likely all the time with Jess too, because we're both usually here. And we're going to set up your plan for the year, right? And then we're going to meet, or that's the first meeting. We're going to set up where you're going to go. We're going to figure out what niche you're doing for sure. When we're going to talk about it. And we're going to set you up for success, roadmap for success. And then we're going to meet in 30 days-ish, somewhere in that range, see where your goals are at, see where you've done, and then set you up for the next year. So you get 5 total calls over that year. You get the first one, a 30-day one, a 60-day one, a 90-day, or a 30-day, a 90-day, a 180, and then a year-end one. And as long as you're a member, you always will get that every year, right? So you'll get them 5 calls every year, one-on-one. Normally charge $147 for our one-on-one calls. So great deal just for the $3.99, right? So yeah, we do grow alongs occasionally too. We're gonna get back on them probably in February. But we did a arugula grow along. We did a cilantro grow along. Don't have a photo for that, but we did a cilantro grow along. So yeah, we do grow alongs as well all through this. We did another one as well. So we've done 3 grow alongs where we get on Zoom with you over the time of that growing along, and we go in detail about that crop to really hone in on them, especially crops, to get things better.